I'm Mark Ramsey, and I am very pleased to have with me Phil Becker. Phil is the GM and Director of Content for Oasis Radio Group in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But Phil is a big-time guy, and here's why. Because Phil always seems to be involved with these crazy, clever, inventive, effective experiments. Am I framing that properly?
I love your frame. Thank you.
The latest experiment is particularly effective, inventive, clever, and, I think, Phil, you would be the first to say obvious. And
Yeah.
that is that Phil's got a new way of developing talent. And essentially, Phil's looking for talent where talent exists and where people prove that that talent is actually popular enough to deserve their attention. And that place is, Phil?
YouTube.
Imagine that. What a miracle. Phil, tell me what you're into.
Sure. Right now we're doing something that we're very excited about, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us about it. And I've recently hired a talent. Her name is Andrea Russett. If you have Google open in the corner of your screen right now, Google Andrea Russett, and you'll find that Andrea is a 16-year-old high school girl here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So a lot of people, when I first brought this up, said, Phil, you're going to hire a high school kid and her school schedule and how many hours can she work and all these reasons why you're not supposed to do it. And I very calmly, Mark, said, find me an air personality anywhere in the country outside of maybe Ryan Seacrest that has 32 million views on YouTube, 108,000 Twitter followers, and then maybe I'll worry about their school schedule versus Andrea's. So that's Andrea. She's been with us now for about 2 weeks, Mark, and the response and the engagement and her fans have just really thrown their arms around the radio station.
So let's talk about that. I mean, when you say you hired her, tell me what you hired her to do exactly.
Sure. Andrea does a couple of things for us. She has her own air shift, first of all, and it was really interesting to say to her, "This is what we want to do with you. We want to give you your own air shift." She's on every Saturday from 12 until 2. In addition to that, though, Mark, Andrea now does videos on behalf of the radio station that are shared with her fans, her followers, her viewers, and she also now is going to become, and it starts tomorrow actually, our celebrity correspondent for artist interviews. And that's really a symbiotic thing, Mark, because Andrea can't, prior to the radio station, get access to those things. And if you're an artist or if you're a label, do you want some disc jockey with 17 views doing the interview, or do you want her with 32 million views doing the interview? So everybody's in a winning situation there.
Yeah, so I mean that's a perfect example of something which is good for the artist, good for her as a personality to her audience, and good for you locally because it allows you to make the most of the content you create on the air and across your own platforms, right?
Correct. And there's something, Mark, that she said that was so insightful that a lot of us forget. And I'll share it with you because I think you'll appreciate it. We were talking with her about an air shift. And she goes, well, I know how to do things on YouTube and that, but I'm really nervous to talk into the microphone. And so someone said, well, we can just voice track it. You can just record it. We'll make you sound perfect and play it back. And she said, well, you can't record it because people will call and I won't be here. 16-year-old high school girl telling us as professionals, guys, it can't be done that way. And so I found that to be really exciting when she said that, and she is here live every single week, and when she is, what's really neat is to watch the amount of people streaming the radio station prior to her air shift, and then her coming on the air for her air shift and watching those stream totals triple within 15 minutes of the time she started talking. So there really is value in worrying about the things that truly matter. Mm-hmm. Do you have fans? Are you talking to people? Do they make a connection with you? Not send me your resume, send me your references, send me your air check, can you do production? Those things are becoming relevant.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because I think where a lot of broadcasters get stuck is, well, why is an internet phenom necessarily the appropriate air talent for my station? A lot of that audience is going to be outside of my market and will have no contribution to my ratings, even if they have contribution to my stream. So that's number one. Number two, how am I supposed to find an internet phenom in my backyard?
Sure. It's great questions and logical questions. I guess my thinking and approach is slightly different in the sense that, and you've talked about this oftentimes, I'm concerned about making people passionate and about being fans for our product. Where they use it, how they use it, how it's tied to ratings, to me is irrelevant. The way that I look at my job in a lot of ways is I'm responsible to make sure that we get people talking and excited about what we do here. If that's someone in Fort Wayne, Indiana, great from a rating standpoint, great from a measurement standpoint, but if I can get people excited about our radio station elsewhere, then the day that they decide they want to put their phone in their dashboard and listen to us, we can win that way. So that responsibility lies on me to get people going and talking no matter the market. The issue with how do you find a YouTube star, that's kind of a secret that I think I figured out. What I will share with you though is that they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
Some
Mark.
secret.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not the only people that have cameras in YouTube. They're everywhere, and if you take the time to research your market, to sit there and figure out who's in your area, if we can find them in market 113, you can find them anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's interesting that I've heard a lot of people say, younger people, they aren't interested in going into radio, but isn't it true that if you find a younger internet star, she actually is quite interested in going into radio?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Mark, one of the things that has really been interesting is that Andrea said, well, I didn't think a radio station was going to be like this as she walks in the hall. Meaning that you guys really are passionate about music. You really do want to talk to people. You really are trying to get people excited. She said, it's funny because her parents, and I think that this is important, that I met with her parents and said, listen, your daughter's 16 years old and we're talking to her about a professional career. And one of the things that they said is, well, she doesn't really know what she wants to do yet. And I think that a lot of people are in that position. Mm-hmm. And now Andrea goes, well, Phil, I'm going into radio. I'm going to do radio now. And I don't know that a lot of times we've created a profession that's conducive to people going, I want to do that. Because we've eliminated the farm team, as we all know. And so now that the farm team is eliminated, then we've chose to use the internet as our farm team.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about the big elephant in the room, which is monetization.
Sure.
What's your aspiration? What's your expectation for your ability to monetize this? Not necessarily in isolation, but how is this going to make the station overall more popular and more profitable?
Good question. I think that answer is probably going to come from some sort of model based in viewership and based in subscribers. I'll give you an example that we've done a lot of heavy video here, some of which you have featured, which I'm very appreciative of, so thank you. But when Andrea is a part of a video for us, she did an appearance in what we call The Station, which is our online webisode, our sitcom. And within 10 days, we were at 30,000 views in 10 days because she was a part of it. So what we have to do is we have to create a sales culture that says, I'm making these particulars up for you, Mark, but that, to be a part of a digital asset, it's this investment, and then go on a per view or per click basis, similar to what other web-based companies are doing. Because otherwise, I don't think you're going to find the person typically that says, well, I'll pay you X to be in this. I think that we're probably going to go to a per-view model and see if that idea works in the beginning.
Well, Phil, what I like so much about what you're doing, not just this, but the station, the other stuff you've been doing, is that you're really kind of blowing out the barriers of the way we think of radio and saying, you know what, it's not just the tower and it's not just these four walls. It's not just across all platforms, but it's about what we do across those platforms, what we do that's fun, exciting, engaging, interesting to those of us in the station, and interesting to those of us who listen to and watch the products of that station. So thank you for all the things you do across platforms.
Thank you. Thank you.
Phil Becker is the General Manager and Director of Content for Oasis Radio Group in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Phil, thank you so much, and congratulations on your new hire.
Thank you, Mark.